I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs. New solutions to the question plaguing the nation. What's for dinner? Today, we're making a dish with roots in medieval France, Cassoulet, a slow-cooked stew which we're cooking up with beans, chicken, and pork belly. Plus, we let strawberries shine in a salad with Burrata cheese. Joining me in the kitchen today is Chef Paul Morrison, originally from Pittsburgh, trained in Chicago, where he worked for Michael Jordan.
That's right.
Well, I'm glad that I rocked the Jays today. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, but you're the executive chef at Pont in Tampa's Midtown. And truth be told, I mean, Chris Pont literally is on my Mount Rushmore of chefs here in the Bay Area.
That's why I live in Tampa.
Really? So that's
right.
what brought you in?
Chris Pont brought me to Tampa, Florida, absolutely. And a beautiful restaurant, and his tutelage has been a fantastic experience.
What a treat. What an absolute treat. And you brought a straight up classic dish today, a cassoulet.
That's right.
Which supposedly dates back to the year 1355?
1355.
That's where it goes back. I love it. Food, history, who doesn't love this combination? And it's really just a one-pot stew.
It's a one-pot stew. It's a braised bean stew. It's something I came across through my travels in France and started making it for my sister. And how do you make it at home? And it doesn't have to take 3 days. You can actually make it in about 30, 40 minutes.
So let's get started then. Where do we get started first?
So first thing, you want to have some sort of fatty element to it. Okay. So Chef, I'm going to ask you if you don't mind scoring.
I can do that.
Beautiful pork belly right here. It's no nitrate free, part of a never ever program.
Okay.
That means it's actually very clean label. We're gonna start with that.
Okay.
As you score that, get a little bit of seasoning on there. Now this is something we use in a restaurant. This is Chris Pont's proprietary house blend, if you will.
Okay.
But at home, just salt and pepper's fine. Okay, and as you're scoring that, I'm gonna start this pan up with a touch of oil.
Now the pork belly, is it hard to find? Is it expensive? What do we?
That pork belly right there is about $5 a pound. Okay. You can find pork belly if you buy a commodity belly. You can get it down to about $3, and if you want to buy something a little nicer, it's going to cost you about $6 a pound. So no, it is not an expensive cut by any stretch of the imagination, but it's something that packs a lot of flavor to it. If you have bacon in your house too, you can absolutely use that.
Okay.
I just find the bacon, I like to control the salt on it, and the pork belly does less nitrates in it, has less curing in it, so I'm able to control the seasoning on it a little better.
Okay. And we're just going to do.
But again, a nice piece of bacon, lardon, anything like that would work easily too.
Okay, perfect.
So that's just gonna go skin side down right in here.
Perfect.
Thank you, Chef. Then we'll get it seasoned up a little bit.
Okay.
Right there. Okay.
Perfect.
So chicken thighs right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some gloves on just so we.
It looks like you've kept the skin on. Bone in too?
It's bone in too. I actually kept the drumhead attached to it as well. Get a nice little crust on there. Mixed up a little bit.
Beautiful.
Right there. So once this pulls out, we're gonna let this rest. And this does not have to go very far. All you're looking to do is achieve some sort of crispiness on the skin right here.
Okay.
Because the cooking is gonna braise without the process.
Sure.
Right there. We'll take a little peek at this really quick.
How's that coming along now? Yeah.
Move it around the pan. Don't be afraid to let your food work a little bit. And you're about there. And again, I always want to transfer to something where I can pat dry, and then we're gonna cut that down.
Okay.
So the next step right here is we're gonna start off with the chicken thigh.
And we're going skin side down here.
Skin side down. Again, all you're looking to achieve is have a nice crispy skin on the outside.
Okay.
The stew cooking is gonna do all the process of the cooking for you.
Chef Paul's recipe is ready for you to grab at our website, dinnerdeas.com.
That's right.
We have all the ingredients, the amounts, and the directions ready to print, plus the Burrata salad that we'll be making later. Just get your phone, open the camera app as if you're taking a photo, and point at the QR code, and a link to us will pop up. Now, do we need to dice up the pork?
The pork is going to get diced, so actually we can take care of that right now.
Okay.
Chef, I'm gonna ask you, since you already have the knife and the gloves.
I will. I'll put the new gloves on for
I'm just
it.
gonna cut this into half-inch dice.
Half-inch dice, heard.
Thank you, and nice job on that score, by the way, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And then the chicken we'll leave whole, because the chicken's gonna be your presentation factor.
Okay. All right, well, hey, when we come back, how we finish up our cassoulet prep and get this bad boy into the oven. Plus, Chef Paul shares a Burrata salad straight from the menu at Pont. That's ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where we're making a French favorite today, cassoulet, a classic stew of beans, pork belly and chicken thighs, brought to us by Chef Paul Morrison from Pont. Before the break, we seared our pork belly, then diced it up, then we browned our chicken thighs. So what's next then?
I mean, the first thing is inside this pan now, you've got all this beautiful flavors. See all these tasty little tidbits in here. So I want to get the onions in there and start developing some more flavors. But not just getting onion flavor in there. You want to start working it.
Okay.
Scraping the bottom of that pan.
Really loosening up all of those brown bits there.
All that brown bits back into the flavor. We'll introduce the rest of the mirepoix.
Okay.
So right here, so we have some small diced carrot. Carrot's something most people have laying around. We'll add the celery. And then last, just to have a little bit here, I have some minced garlic that I want to add to it.
For Chef Paul's recipe for this timeless treat, it's ready for you at dinnerdeas.com. All the ingredients, the amounts, and the directions are printer friendly. Just scan the QR code on the screen to find your way there now. What's next to help this cassoulet keep moving?
That's right. So right here, I'm going to introduce the wine into the pan.
Okay.
And again, this is going to take any remaining fond on the bottom of the pan off. Here. And then we're going to start getting the chicken stock warm.
Okay.
So the one thing, if you add cold chicken stock to the pan, it's going to completely stop the cooking process. So you want to make sure the stand's going to be hot. So
perfect.
You got a nice sauce pan right there.
I do. And
this is a chicken stock we make in-house, but you could easily use a chicken broth. A vegetable broth would work well because you are developing flavors inside of it. One ask I would say is I would do something with no sodium.
Okay.
Once again, I like to control the flavors of it, and when those things reduce, they can tend to get salty very fast.
And then what else should I be doing here?
I call this a sachet right here.
Okay. What's inside this?
A sachet is just a culmination of spices and herbs that are tied together, and I don't want them to release into the sauce, so I'm able to pull them in and out. That's thyme, bay leaves, and traditionally in cassoulet, there's a touch of clove in there.
And it's a clean, easy pickup by using the cheesecloth as well.
Exactly right.
All right,
It's
so
just easy to remove. Just goes right in there.
Boom.
Now you're getting a nice simmer point. You open up the herbs in there. The cloves should start flavoring that stock a little bit, so we can go directly in the bowl.
And just go pour right in.
Pour straight in.
Okay.
With sachet and all.
Love it.
Love that. So now that we're in here, the cannellini beans can go in. These were soaked overnight.
Could you use them out of the can?
I think 1,000%. When I do it at home with my family, I don't always have dried beans in my house.
So it sounds like it's a very forgiving dish in that regard too.
Extremely forgiving.
Okay, I like that.
So then once we get to this point here, we're going to reintroduce the pork.
Okay.
So you got the crispy bits in there. We get the nice fatty. It's going to help give a nice sheen to the sauce. Give a nice stir in there. And then I like to be a little more particular how I place my chicken inside of it. It's the same thing as I was doing duck confit.
Okay. And so you just like to let it just kind of sit right on
100%.
top. This is not a time to submerge it. This is a time to just let that really kind of have that surface in that area for that skin to
Because
really.
you're developing a stew, and essentially you're braising at the exact same time.
Okay.
From there, right there, you have this beautiful thing. And thank you, sir.
Absolutely, Chef.
Chef, do you mind grabbing the oven door for me?
And then this is going to go into a 350 degree oven?
350 degree oven. Now, the recipe online is 350 degrees for 30 minutes because we have a convection oven in the restaurant.
Okay.
If you have a regular standard oven in your house, I'd maybe give it 45, 50 minutes just to give it a little extra time. But again, just look and taste it.
Look and taste.
Like look and taste it, pull it out. I want to reduce it more. And then cassoulets, there's two different school of thoughts on cassoulet. Some people like it soupy, some people like it cooked way down. So it depends, what's your preference?
Okay, so this is one where it's just kind of have fun in the process.
Exactly right.
Let loose and just enjoy it because while our cassoulet cooks away, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, Chef Paul shares a very special strawberry salad ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz, where today we get to cook with Chef Paul Morrison, who at his day job gets to cook with one of my culinary heroes, Chef Chris Pont, at the restaurant that shares his name, Pont, in Tampa's Midtown. He's been sharing a dish he makes at home, the classic French stew, cassoulet. Before the break, we deglazed our pan with onions, cooked up celery and carrot, added in hot stock, seasonings, brine beans, and our pork and chicken, and put that back into the oven. And while it cooks, we're going to make a very special side ripped from the menu at Pont, the burrata salad with strawberries.
That's right.
Where do we get started then?
Well, I'm going to start it off with you right there. So we got
Okay.
some beautiful burrata cheese.
Lovely.
Burrata cheese is cheese that has threads inside of it that have been soaked in cream with the mozzarella encasing on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you cut those in half for me. I'm going to have you season them really quick.
Okay.
Then we do have a Korean chili spice there, but you do not have to use those. If you like heat, if you want something, or you have red chili flake at your house,
You can do.
perfect.
You
If
cool with me
wanna-
adding it then?
Yeah.
I want it.
I think it sounds great.
All right.
But if you want to omit it, no problem. And then we're going to finish it with some balsamic pearls.
Now, do we get the balsamic pearls after I slice it then?
After
or-
you slice it, that's going to be a garnish on top of the cheese right there. And then,
And what are balsamic pearls then?
so basically it's encapsulated balsamic vinegar. I know that sounds pretty fancy. It's for the house cook right there. If
Okay.
you used a reduced balsamic, something to bring that vinegar home, that little bit of wine, that grape flavor to it.
Okay, so if
fantastic.
someone wanted to, they could just reduce a reduction
Exactly
and just
right.
make it a little bit thicker
100%.
and go. And they actually have reductions in the sauce aisles inside the grocery store.
They
too,
do.
yeah.
They have a lot of
So-
them now. Rezio makes a nice one. Roland makes a nice one. There's a bunch of different brands that do those. But I work at Pop Modern American, and we wanted to bring a little taste of the restaurant
You gotta
in
go
here.
the right way to
exactly
do it.
right.
Okay.
I got to make
So
Chris Pot proud.
I've cut them in half now, and now where am I putting them?
So
What
we're
am I
going to
doing
put them
next?
here. So this is an arugula verde we make.
Okay.
So think essentially a pesto, but inside of it, we burn some arugula inside of it just to give a little more of a peppery flavor to it.
Okay.
So you're going to go right on top of these little green dots right here.
And I'm going actually right there with that little opening
Absolutely.
that I just saw right there. I'm going straight in with that. Whoa. Wow.
Got a little spillage going on here.
You know what's really beautiful? There's such a beautiful pepperiness
Exactly
because
right.
that arugula is like shown throughout everything.
Yeah, it helps. It's like a lot of places they'll call it a rocket sauce, so it'll make a chimichurri or something out of effect. But if you go to Argentina, it's basically their ketchup.
Yeah.
But if you put the arugula inside of it, and sometimes some little apple for sweetness, it gives that a nice peppery background to it.
Absolutely stunning.
So you're going to go right on top of that with the cheese, my friend. I believe I gave you an offset. And while you're doing that,
Okay.
I'm going to make
This
a
is
little
gonna go
salad.
straight on top.
Right on top.
Okay.
I'm going to make a little salad here. So we got some arugula to reinforce those flavors right here. So we got some heirloom grape tomatoes right here. Just a little bit. Again, grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, anything like that will work.
Okay.
I just think they're beautiful with the different colors on there. So a little bit on top. That's right. Okay. Then right here, we have a little chiffonade basil. It's just basil that's been cut into ribbons.
Lovely.
Then right here, we have some torn mint. The torn mint's a nice thing, but you want to get it between your hand and give it a good smack.
Why is that?
You want to pull the essential oils out of the mint. It's going to help drive that mint flavor in.
So it's important to really kind of smack that.
Exactly right. It really helps
open
a
it
lot.
up.
Even if you're using torn basil, anytime you're going to terra green, you want to give it a nice little clap.
Just to open it up.
Just to open her up.
Pro
One
tip,
more
folks,
time.
if you're not doing it already, slap it.
That's right. Okay, so right there you got that. Then we're going to add some of these beautiful Florida strawberries in there.
Okay.
Finally, right here, this is a toasted pine nut. Pine nuts can be rather pricey, so any type of nut in your house would work, minus, make sure it's a tree nut.
Okay.
But a pine nut right here has a nice oil content to it. And then finally, pinch of that house mix.
And if you want to toast that, you could just take a nice frying pan, just a little
100%.
bit, just
Quickly, but watch, it'll go from burnt, it'll be in toasted to burnt very
Yeah,
quick.
this is one where you want to really kind of keep an eye on. Okay.
So right there, a little bit of the vinaigrette.
And that vinaigrette, what do we have in there?
It's just a lemon vinaigrette. There's a touch of sugar in it, a little bit of honey, and oil, and a little bit of Dijon mustard.
Very nice.
So I'm right here. Just gonna mix the salad up nicely. We're gonna plate the salad right in the middle of the plate.
Lovely.
And then I try to get the greens down mostly first. You wanna get them mixed up, but you do wanna get some nice pop of color on there,
Okay.
because you wanna showcase those beautiful herbs. Beautiful strawberries.
It has such beautiful placement on the plate for that reason. I mean, the eyes just are gravitating. I'm like, where's the fork? I'm ready.
And then one thing I hate, I have a big mentality of waste not, want not.
Okay.
So anytime I have herbs that are looking like, hey, am I gonna get to those chives or am I gonna get to that? I just make an oil out of them really quick. Food processor, blend them up and then strain them through a coffee strainer.
And then what would be the shelf life if you wanted to put this into your fridge and have that be an oil, or
I'd say about 5 days.
5 days? You can be able to set that aside. So
But there you go.
waste not, just go with it.
Waste not,
I
want
love
not.
it. Look how beautiful that is. To make this salad for yourself, grab Chef Paul's recipe for this and for his cassoulet at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to get a link to us. This looks incredible. It's so easy. It's so fast. It's so beautiful. But the cassoulet, we got to check on that now.
Let's take a peek.
Okay.
What we got? Thank you, Chef.
Now at home, you
smelling
need
good here.
this for 30 minutes in the oven, 350. And a little longer, like you say. If this is not a convection oven, a little bit longer if you need that.
See, right here. And when I say crack a skin right here, what you're doing, especially in traditional cassoulet, there's going to be a lot of fat inside of this pan. So what happens to the fat, it's going to rise to the top, and it's going to form a film. So you break that film, put it back into the sock, and you're supposed to traditionally do it 7 times. But again, who's got time when you're cooking for kids at home? You got time. No one has time to do it 7 times.
Totally.
So right here is, I want to make sure that we have a nice, need a spoon? Thank you, chef. I want to make sure the consistency's right. Yes, it's got viscosity to it.
Okay.
Yes, we're looking good here. Everything's cooked properly. Everything's fork tender. And of course, nothing's ready to go unless you, and yes, it is.
It's there?
It's there.
It's there. All right.
So we're gonna finish it right now. Again, this is not traditional. I think it's something fun to do at home. I think it's something that kids will like too.
Well, it's evolved since, you know,
Exactly.
600, what was it, 669 years is what this traces itself back to.
I don't think this is how the monks were making it back in the day.
I don't think so either, but I mean, this is something so expected from you guys over at Pont. Look at this. Okay.
So just a little bit of fried panko.
Okay. And that's just to reintroduce a little bit of crunch, and a little texture behind it.
to it.
Okay.
And then last but not least is just some fresh chopped parsley.
Okay, and this is just to really just give it that nice earthiness,
Nice
that green
earthiness, give it a nice color to it and brighten it up a little bit.
Very, very nice.
And that's it.
It's simple, it's clean. It's so easy, so quick, and if you're tempted to make it for your dinner tonight, don't forget to email us a photo. dinnerdias@fox.com. That's what Fran did. She's watching us in Paris, and she made Chef Eric McHugh's chorizo meatballs. She told us this was fantastic. Fran, that looks fantastic. I'm so happy that you had fun cooking with us. Talking of fantastic meals, my friend. We have to taste this one right after the break ahead on Dinner Dias. Welcome back to Dinner Dias. Today we've been joined by Chef Paul Morrison from Pont in Tampa's Midtown. He's been sharing a recipe for the traditional French stew of a cassoulet made with beans, pork belly, and chicken thighs, plus a burrata salad with strawberries. Where are we going first? Well, take me on this journey with you, Chef.
I mean, I'm going to go for the cassoulet every single time. You should traditionally, I guess, would start with the burrata salad, but why mess around? Let's go straight into it. Let's go right into it.
We got to go into it then. All right.
I've been waiting for this all day.
And what are we tasting for here?
So you're going to look for, obviously, the right amount of acid or right amount of seasoning inside of it, and it's going to have some fat inside of it.
Wow. Wow. Those cannellini beans took on all that flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. That chicken is just beautifully moist.
And then paired with that pork belly.
What's going on with that pork belly? I haven't even gotten to that pork belly. What are you tasting right now?
My favorite thing in the world, meat and fat.
Meat and fat, your favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. That is.
Mirepoix picked up the flavor of it. It's great.
And you make this for your sister.
I make it for my sister, yes.
And the kids too.
I do.
This is so cool. Very nice. This is absolutely beautiful, stunning flavors there. Oh yeah, and then by the way, this is also stunning, beautiful, and now we also have to be able to celebrate this burrata salad here. I mean,
and honestly, this actually makes sense eating second order to clean your palate a little bit. Get some acid in there.
Mm-hmm. So walk us through the flavors here.
So you're going to get the balsamic, and the balsamic pearls should just stay straightforward, just like balsamic. You're going to get the pepperiness from the arugula, the sweetness from the tomato and the strawberries, and then a nice little salt background to it. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What a clean bite.
That's really what it is. All these different things going on make one clean bite.
Wow. Wow.
And this is not too far off from how we serve it in the restaurant.
And these are ingredients that you can find at the grocery store.
Any grocery store.
I mean, yeah, we're using the balsamic pearls that you guys have, but a balsamic reduction that you reduce down at the house, you can do.
No problem.
If you want to cut the corner even more and just find the reduction off the shelf at your local grocery store, you can do that too.
And I think it's based on how busy your life is. You know, if you have somebody, get a kid to soccer practice, do something like that, buy the reduced one. They make great products out there now. If you enjoy cooking, you really enjoy the process of it behind it, then go for it.
I love it. What a joy this is. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Chef Paul, or should I say, Chef Uncle Paulie?
That is Chef Uncle Paulie, yes.
So you're known for Chef Uncle Paulie on Instagram, where, man, let's just be honest. It's just two guys breaking bread, being honest. So, circle of truth here. You post a lot of photos of raw meat, my friend.
I know, it's been told it's kind of weird, but it's my passion.
It's your, what is this here?
So those are Manhattans right there. So that's Japanese A5 beef from Hokkaido snow beef.
Okay.
That we butcher into a Manhattan, which is basically fat removed New York strip. Those are the porterhouses we serve in the restaurant, but that's actually from Snake River Farms. That's American Wagyu, dry aged 65 days.
Whoa there.
That's butchered on our bandsaw in-house.
And then what's this?
So that is a project that one of my cooks and I took on. That has got 17 pounds of butter on it.
Whoa. 17 pounds of butter.
Yeah.
What is that encasing right now?
It's an entire export, so it's a bone-in ribeye. So it's about a 22-pound piece of meat with 17 pounds of butter around it that we aged for 60 days.
So you got nearly 40 pounds working on over here.
There's a lot going on.
That's 40 pounds right there.
It does, but it protects the moisture inside of it. When you cook it, then you're actually using dry-aged butter to sear the steak and pollute it.
How long of a process for that?
We did it for about 60 days.
60 days. And that was from the time that you took it to then the butter, and that butter keeping that for 60 days.
Protecting the protein for about 60 days, yes.
What did it taste like?
That didn't suck. It was very good. The nice thing about it too is it actually had a little more moisture than your normal 60-day dry-aged steak. Okay. And then you're picking it up in the butter that it was aging in, so the butter tastes like meat as well.
So then you use that to then be able to baste afterwards?
Literally use that as the base for the steak.
Oh my God, sign me up right now, folks.
I know.
Just sign me up, please.
We're starting a tallow one next week.
Yeah? Uh-huh. Well, sign me up for that one there. Thanks again to Chef Paul Morrison. A link to the recipe he's made today, and a link to his Instagram full of raw meat are all at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan that QR code to find your way there. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more Dinner Deas.